February 14th. Dear D, it's Valentine's Day. Of course, he forgot. Mark came home late, smelling of cheap wine and some perfume I didn't recognize. He muttered something about a busy day at the office and didn't even notice the dinner I'd made. 6 years together, and he can't even bother to pick up flowers anymore. But it's not the forgetting that hurts. It's the lies. I saw the lipstick stain on his shirt when he went to shower. It wasn't mine. I followed him today. He said he was going to a meeting downtown, but I watched as he walked into Amelie's Bistro, the same place we used to go on date nights. She was there, waiting for him. She is pretty. She was laughing at something he said like he was the funniest man alive. He leaned in and kissed her, right there in the middle of the restaurant, like I didn't exist. I want to scream. I want to throw his lies back in his face, but I won't. Not yet. He thinks he's so clever, sneaking around behind my back, but he doesn't know who he's dealing with. I didn't confront him. Not yet. Mark came home acting like everything was fine, like he didn't just spend his lunch hour with her. I found her name, Claire Monroe. She works in marketing at some boutique firm downtown. Single, no kids, a very active social media presence. Her Instagram is a shrine to herself. Gym selfies, overpriced cocktails, captions about living her best life. And then there's Mark, sneaking into the edges of her photos, a hand on her arm, a familiar jacket in the background. She has no idea he's married. I started leaving little clues. Nothing too obvious, just enough to make him squirm. I switched his cologne for the one he stopped wearing years ago, the one I used to love. He smelled it and froze, like a guilty little boy. Then I replaced the photo in his wallet. The one of us at our wedding? Now it's just me, smiling alone. He hasn't said anything, but I can see it in his eyes. He's starting to feel the cracks. Claire's office number wasn't hard to find. I called her today. Didn't say who I was, just told her that Mark wasn't who she thought he was, that she should ask him some hard questions. She sounded confused, maybe even a little scared. Good. Let her start doubting him. Let her start seeing the cracks. Mark came home furious. He slammed the door, demanding to know if I'd been snooping in his phone. I just looked at him, calm as ever, and asked, "Why would I need to?" He didn't have an answer. I set up a meeting with Claire. She agreed to meet me at a coffee shop downtown, probably out of curiosity more than anything. When I walked in, her face went pale. "I'm Mark's wife," I said, sliding my wedding ring across the table. Her jaw dropped. She didn't say much after that, just sat there, staring at the ring like it was a grenade about to go off. I told her everything, the lies, the cheating, the way he's been playing both of us. By the time I left, she looked ready to cry. Claire dumped him. Mark came home drunk last night, muttering about how complicated everything had gotten. I pretended to comfort him, rubbing his back while he spilled all his regrets. She said she couldn't trust me anymore. He slurred, like that's fair. Fair. That word tasted so bitter in my mouth, I almost laughed. Now for the next phase. I've been saving everything. Texts, emails, receipts, every little breadcrumb that proves his infidelity. I've started organizing it all into a neat little folder labeled "For the Lawyer." He doesn't know it yet, but this marriage is over. And when I leave, I'm taking everything with me. Mark's been trying harder lately. Flowers, dinner dates, sweet little notes left on my pillow. He must sense that something's changed. It's almost pathetic. He doesn't know he's already lost. I filed for divorce today. When I told him, he just stared at me like he couldn't believe what he was hearing. "I thought we were fixing things," he said. Fixing things. As if a bouquet of wilted roses could erase months of lies. I didn't cry, I didn't yell. I just handed him the papers and walked away. The house is mine, the car is mine, even the stupid dog that Mark never wanted but I insisted on. Mark tried to fight me on the settlement, but the evidence I had made it impossible for him to win. Funny, isn't it? He spent so much time covering his tracks, and yet he never noticed me quietly gathering mine. Claire sent me a message today. She thanked me for telling her the truth, said she's glad she found out who Mark really is. I didn't reply. I'm done with her, with him, with all of it. I'm sitting in my new apartment, drinking wine and watching the city lights. For the first time in years, I feel free. Mark thought he could betray me and get away with it. He thought I'd forgive him, forget, move on. He was wrong. It's been weeks since I have spoken to Mark, and life feels quiet, too quiet. I should feel triumphant after everything I've done, but something isn't sitting right. I noticed someone following me yesterday, just a shadow out of the corner of my eye. And then there's the flower that arrived at my door today, a single black rose with no note. Mark wouldn't have sent it. He doesn't have the creativity for that. I saw Claire today. I wasn't planning to, but there she was, sitting outside the cafe on Elm Street. I almost didn't recognize her. She looked different. There was no trace of the wide-eyed, naive woman I met just months ago. When she saw me, she smiled. A slow, deliberate smile that made my stomach turn. "Hello, Amelia," she said. "Enjoying your freedom?" Something about the way she said it sent a chill down my spine. More flowers. This time a bouquet of lilies, the funeral kind. The card read, "You can't bury the past forever." I tried calling the florist, but they wouldn't tell me who placed the order. Mark doesn't know where I live now, does he? Then, my car wouldn't start this morning. When the mechanic towed it, he said someone had drained the battery and slashed the tires. I'm not imagining this. Someone's targeting me. Claire's face keeps popping into my mind. That smile, that strange calmness. Did I misjudge her? Did I awaken something darker in her when I shattered her perfect little illusion?
Dear D. Her diary is fascinating. Every thought, every fear, every weakness laid bare on those pages. She wrote about following Mark, about confronting me, about her so-called victory. I copied the most incriminating entries. If she thinks I'll stop at taunting her, she's wrong.
Claire came to my apartment today. She didn't knock. She just stood outside, staring up at my window. When I finally opened the door, she was holding one of the photos I'd sent to my lawyer, the incriminating shots of Mark and her together. "Did you think I wouldn't find out?" she said, her voice ice cold. "That you could use me and walk away?" I tried to explain, but she wouldn't listen. "I thought we were allies, Amelia, but you didn't ruin just Mark. You ruined me." I slammed the door and locked it, but her words are still ringing in my ears. Things are escalating. Someone broke into my apartment last night. Nothing was stolen, but my bedroom mirror was shattered, and scrawled across the glass in red lipstick were the words, "We're not done." I know it was Claire. It has to be. I thought I was the one in control, but now it feels like I'm the one being played. Mark called me. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity got the better of me. "Whatever you're doing, stop," he said. "What are you talking about?" I snapped. "You know exactly what I'm talking about. Claire, she's different now, obsessed. She thinks we're both her enemies." He sounded scared. Good, he should be, but what scares me is this. For the first time, I'm starting to wonder if I've unleashed something I can't control.
I'm not the bad guy here. I believed Mark when he said his marriage was over. I trusted him when he said Amelia was a bitter, controlling woman who couldn't let go. I thought we had something real. But then she came to me, all righteous and calm, destroying everything with her smug little smile. She walked out of that cafe thinking she'd won, but she didn't understand. I don't lose. She doesn't know I've been to her apartment. At least until I wanted her to know. It was easy to find her new address. She left enough breadcrumbs for anyone with half a brain to follow. I stood outside her building today, imagining her in there, pretending her life is back to normal. It's not. She ruined my life. Now I'll ruin hers.
I confronted Claire today. I found her at the park, sitting alone on a bench. When I demanded to know why she was doing this, she just laughed. A low, bitter sound that didn't match the bright, bubbly woman I'd first met. "You don't get it, do you?" she said. "You ruined him for me, and then you left me with nothing. You think you're the only one who can play games?" I told her to stay away from me, but she just smiled and said, "This isn't a game anymore, Amelia. It's revenge." Claire sent me a package today. Inside was a framed photo of her and Mark, smiling like the perfect couple. The glass was cracked, and on the back was a note. You can't undo what you've done. Neither can I. I feel like I'm being hunted. I thought revenge would free me, but now I'm trapped in a web I helped create. Mark is dead. I saw the news this morning. He was found in his apartment, a single stab wound to the chest. Police are investigating, but I already know who's responsible. Claire, I wanted revenge, but I never wanted this.
Mark was a mistake, but Amelia is a masterpiece. I didn't mean for it to happen like that. He wasn't supposed to die, but when I showed up at his apartment, he was so drunk, so pathetic, it was almost too easy. I told him I wanted closure, that I needed to understand why he lied to me. But all he could do was blame Amelia, over and over again. It was her name on his lips when the knife slipped into his chest. She doesn't realize how much she's like me. We're both relentless, both willing to do whatever it takes to get what we want. That's why I can't just let her go. This isn't revenge anymore. It's art.
I can't sleep.
I can't eat.
Every noise outside my window makes me jump.
The police questioned me today.
They know about the divorce
And the cheating.
they asked if I had anything to do with Mark's death.
I told them no, but I could see the doubt in their eyes. I bet she's
I bet
enjoying
she's enjoying
this.
She left another note. This one was taped to my bathroom mirror. Your turn. I don't know how this will end, but I know one thing for certain. I've met my match. No more running, no more hiding. If Claire wants a war, she'll get one. She's been playing with my life, taunting me, trying to break me. But she doesn't know me as well as she thinks she does. I spent all night going through her social media, tracking her movements, piecing together her patterns. She's careless, too confident that I'll just sit back and take it. She's wrong. First strike. I sent an anonymous email to her boss with screenshots of the photos she took with Mark while they were still seeing each other. Every detail about their affair, every whispered conversation, laid bare. Claire prides herself on her professional image, her perfect little life. Let's see how she handles being exposed. It worked. Claire was fired today. I overheard two of her coworkers talking about it at a cafe near her office. Apparently, her boss was deeply disappointed and didn't want the drama associated with her name. I smiled for the first time in weeks. Let her feel what it's like to have the foundation of her life crumble. Claire showed up at my apartment tonight. She was furious, her face flushed, her hands trembling. You think this is over? She spat. You have no idea who you're dealing with. I stood my ground, staring her down. Neither do you. She stormed off, but I could see the cracks forming. She's not as invincible as she pretends to be. I dug deeper into Claire's past. It turns out she has skeletons of her own, old restraining orders, workplace disputes, and a messy breakup that ended with her ex filing harassment charges. She's not some mastermind. She's just another broken person who thrives on chaos. I gathered every piece of evidence I could find. If she tries to push me further, I'll take it to the police. Claire's starting to unravel. She sent me a frantic email today, accusing me of ruining her life. She's not wrong, but I didn't reply. Let her stew in her anger and desperation. I've contacted a lawyer to document everything, her stalking, the break-in, the threatening notes. This time, I'll have the upper hand. I finally feel like I'm regaining control. I've taken steps to protect myself. New locks, security cameras, a restraining order in progress. I'm done being her victim. She broke into my apartment again. I caught her on camera this time, rifling through my things, searching for... what? Evidence? A way to destroy me? I handed the footage over to the police. They said it's enough to press charges. The look on her face when they showed up at her door, I wish I could have seen it. Claire is in custody, awaiting trial. The police found more than just evidence of her stalking me. They found a journal detailing her obsession with Mark, her plans to punish him and anyone connected to him. It's over. I won't say I'm unscathed. This ordeal has changed me in ways I'm still trying to understand. But for the first time in months, I feel free. The house is quiet now. But it's not the suffocating silence of fear. It's peace. Mark is gone. Claire is gone. And I'm still standing. Revenge was never about destruction for me. It was about reclaiming my life. And now, I have it back.